Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com. And today we're going to talk about duplication. So here's the thing I want you to think about. Are you duplicatable? Are you duplicatable? The answer is no. The answer is no, you are not duplicatable. Why? Because there's only one of you. You are unique. You got your own DNA, you got your own set of skills, gifts, affinities, abilities. You're not duplicatable. That's the beautiful thing about our planet. Human beings aren't duplicatable. And so what's duplication? To me, there's a lot of duplication myth. And so this is an important thing to think about. So for example, one of my skill sets is I am very good in front of a group, right? That's something that I was gifted to, that I uncovered. I didn't really know I had it because I was so daggone introverted and had such low self-esteem. It took me years to uncover that. But then I realized, wow, this is a tremendous thing that I can bring to people. But is that duplicatable? No, that's not duplicatable. So do I use that as the foundation for building my business? No, I do not. Why? Because you have to have a process that is duplicatable, right? So that's a really important thing to think about. So let me give you some insights. So you think about lead source, right? There are so many ways to make contacts. Everybody has a huge list. And, most people have never made their list fully, have never talked to everybody on their list. I've never met anybody in 28 years of being in the industry who absolutely could tell me that they talked to everybody that they've ever met in their entire life. Never. So no one ever talks to their whole list, but that's not even the point. The point is there's a zillion ways to talk to people, right? Some people are good at cold calls. I can't stand them, but I got good at it by doing it once. Right? Some people are great out in public, walking up to meet people. Some people are masters, right, in navigating the internet and creating lead programs. And some people are great at advertising, and other people are. There's just so many different ways you can acquire leads. And then you have people who are in niches, right? So someone who's a coach or a trainer, if they're in a wellness environment, right, they're going to have access to leads in a way where they just have an audience, right? Or a doctor, right? If they're in a wellness company, or someone who's in a professional arena who's doing a financial product, right? You can go on and on and on. And you can say, well, that's not duplicatable. It doesn't matter, right? That's just their market niche, just like you have one. Your list is a market niche, and you can find like-minded people in so many other ways. So the lead source is not relevant. That's not what needs to be duplicatable. The only thing that needs to be duplicatable in our work is the process, just the process, right? Because the process is simple. You make a contact, you share your story and information, you follow up, and you sponsor and serve and introduce them to how they work. And so where in there is the struggle? So there's one primary point, right? When you think about story and information, this is why I think information tools are so powerful. But information tools can be anything. It can be a flip chart, right? It can be a video that you show. It can be dialing into a webinar, right? That's an information tool. It can be a catalog. It can be a lot of different things. Your story is also duplicatable, right? Because your story is your story. So it doesn't matter that your story is not someone else's story. By the way, you could tell that other person's story, but everybody can tell their own story. That's duplicatable. Everybody can use an information tool. That's duplicatable, right? So it's not about the broader scope, right? It makes me crazy when I see so-called leaders try to shove a square peg into a round hole, or vice versa, right? Where they try to make someone who doesn't have an affinity to do a certain thing do that certain thing when that thing is not necessary for them to build a business, right? So again, I'll use the example of speaking, right? I've seen trainers before teach that you have to learn how to run a meeting. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I know some people who've built $1 million incomes who never run a meeting, right? Why? Because they found a way to do the process that worked well for them. So all that needs to be duplicated is the process. See, that's the beauty of our work. Everyone can do this. Not everybody will, but everybody can. So use your gifts in the process and keep it simple, but make sure you're using an information tool that is a duplicatable tool. That is the most important thing. A duplicatable information tool. Everything else Doesn't matter. It's just the process. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks for stopping by.